欢迎收听工程师下班不加班，我是你在通勤路上最懂你职场心声的声音导师。刚解完一个难缠的 bug， 走出冷清的办公大楼，全身的电量只剩下不到1%。街角那间亮着白光的便利商店，成了你今晚最后的避风港。走到泡面区，你的目光停在台酒的御膳堂系列上，一碗要价超过70块台币。在这个价位带，你支付的溢价买的是除了饱腹之外的情绪修补。你真正担心的是花了便当的钱，却只换回满满的化学粉末和空洞的行销话术。跳过华而不实的广告词，直接用工程师逻辑拆解这3款顶级泡面的输入与输出，帮你找出精准配对。御膳堂这个系列主打宫廷级的膳食标准，并结合了台湾烟酒公司超过100年的发酵与酿酒技术底蕴。他们定位为取代实体餐厅的机能型宵夜，里面配置高温高压杀菌的真实肉块调理包，这类软罐头技术让肉质在常温保存下依然保有鲜实口感，并针对不同风味搭配了专属的料理酒包。由于每款风味的指向性非常强烈，精准挑选才能确保今晚顺利进入休眠程序。第一位选手是酒香药膳排骨面，这是一款重量级的选择，专为需要深度进步的寒冷夜晚设计。它的输入端采用了双重药酒技术，同时加入5加皮料理酒与龙凤酒包。龙凤酒包内含熟地、当归、党参等萃取液，透过热水焖蒸，这2种酒包会叠加出浓厚且纯正的十全中药香气。它的核心用料是放弃普通的排骨块，改用带有脆度与胶质的珍稀猪软骨。最终的输出结果是一碗甘甜不燥的汤头，释放出的天然甜味模拟出了夜市现煮药膳排骨的层次感。它的代价是中药味具有强烈的侵略性，排斥当归味的人会无法接受。另外，搭配的细面极易吸水，你必须严格控制冲泡时间。当你体力透支，极度渴望咬到真实肉质与软骨，并需要一场仪式感十足的身体修补时，这碗面就是首选。接着是酒香啤酒鸡肉面，许多人一开始抱着好奇心才把这款泡面拿去结账的。它的输入逻辑是大胆舍弃浓烈料理酒，改用金牌台湾啤酒作为汤头基地。调理包升级，改用高品质的鸡腿肉在啤酒中直接炖煮，这能有效去腥并维持肉质的紧实与 Q 弹。实际输出的表现非常顺口，酒精在高温下挥发，留下的是纯粹的小麦甘甜。搭配的圆面体口感滑顺，整体风格非常接近清爽系的拉面。它的短板在于汤底为了去腥而加入较重的姜母味，不喜欢姜味的人会却步，而且对追求强烈酒腔的人来说，啤酒的气息可能略显不足，没有刺鼻酒味，喝完后那股稳定的暖意却会让脸颊泛红。追求温和且清甜的宽味，它是目前最平衡的选择。最后一位是评价最两极，专为重口味爱好者打造的酒香蒙古锅牛肉面。它的组成很罕见，以牛骨与猪骨熬制的白汤为底，并加入具有补药酒特性的双鹿5加啤酒。输出的结果是一场重口味风暴。中式宽扁面条能完美带起乳白色的孜然汤头，提供极大的嚼劲与瞬间爆发的香料气息。代价在于风险，浓烈的孜然味非常挑人，且部分批次的牛肉块在肉质表现上会显得稍微偏干。而生理成本更是不容忽视，高达2550毫克的钠含量直接撞碎了成人每日建议摄取量的警戒线。不过，如果你现在的脑袋因为压力而彻底麻木，急需一场强烈的风味冲击来强行重开感官，这份钠含量的成本对你来说可能完全值得。在这个定价水准下，没有绝对的优劣，只有当下情境的错位。归纳成决策树，追求清甜麦香，选啤酒鸡肉面； 需要孜然提神，选蒙古锅牛肉面；体力透支需深度进步，药膳排骨面是你的终极答案。在繁忙的工作与休息之间，用最高效率的方式换取片刻放松，是每位开发者对自己的温柔。懂得在繁重的专案压力下，用精准的热量让大脑重拾片刻平静，能让你更从容地迎接明天的挑战。订阅我的频道，让你下班真的不加班。
Welcome back. It's 11 p.m. You just got off work, you're exhausted, and you want a hot, substantial meal. But your only option is the local convenience store. You stand in front of the instant noodle shelf, and you freeze. Staring back at you are packets priced near 100 NTD, about 3 times the cost of a standard bowl. You must decide if a package of dehydrated carbs is worth that kind of money. Those high-priced packets are the Yushan Tong series from the Taiwan Tobacco and Liquor Corporation, or TTL. TTL is a state-owned manufacturer with over a century of brewing history, and their pitch here is straightforward. They're utilizing their commercial fermentation technology to elevate instant noodles into restaurant-quality meals. When you pay that premium, you are making a specific trade. You accept a high price tag and a massive caloric load in exchange for thick cuts of real meat and exclusive cooking wines you cannot buy off the shelf. But here is the trap. The 3 main flavors, medicinal pork, beer chicken, and cumin beef, are incredibly polarizing. Grabbing the wrong one for your palate is a worse outcome than losing 100 NTD. We are going to tear down the chemistry and components of each bowl so you know exactly which one to buy. Choosing the right premium noodle isn't about finding an objective best bowl. It requires precision. It is about matching an extreme flavor profile to exactly how exhausted you feel right now. We start with the herbal pork ribs. This is an uncompromising attempt to replicate the heavy, warming comfort food you usually only find bubbling away at outdoor night market stalls in the middle of winter. To build that heavy profile, the kit includes wujia pea and longfeng medicinal wine. These pair with the foil retort pouch, a heat-resistant bag allowing food to be sterilized and stored at room temperature. Inside, TTL packed actual pork cartilage. When you boil cartilage for an extended period, the connective tissue breaks down. It gives the meat a distinct crunch that yields to a rich, gelatinous mouthfeel, a texture that is notoriously difficult to achieve in a freeze-dried meal. But you need to be warned. The broth is heavily saturated with angelica and chuansheng. If you dislike the sharp, earthy scent of a traditional Chinese lettuce shop, this bowl will severely alienate you. Personally, I was caught off guard by the execution. The aroma has 0 chemical aftertaste, and the chewiness of the cartilage holds up remarkably well against the hot broth. This flavor is a highly targeted nostalgia trip. It is an aggressive, heavy-hitting bowl that demands you actively crave a traditional medicinal remedy before you tear open the package. If the herbal ribs are traditional, the second contender is an experiment. TTL took their flagship product, Gold Medal beer, and integrated it directly into a chicken soup base. By boiling the chicken base in beer at high temperatures, the chemistry shifts. The ethanol rapidly evaporates during the process, leaving behind only the concentrated, sweet notes of wheat and malt. To complement that sweet broth, TTL made a specific structural choice. They used intact chunks of chicken leg meat. The active muscle fibers keep the meat tight and elastic, avoiding the dry, chalky texture of the chicken breast usually found in instant noodles. Notice what is missing from this layout. There is no separate high-proof liquor sachet to pour in at the end. For hardcore fans expecting TTL's signature sharp alcohol burn, this omission might feel like a letdown. But eating it is a different experience. It lacks a harsh alcoholic bite, yet that clear, golden broth triggers a surprising, intense physical warmth almost immediately after you begin eating it. The beer chicken subverts what you expect from a liquor company. It trades an aggressive alcohol punch for a highly accessible, comforting sweetness, making it the safest but most deceptive choice on the shelf. Our final option abandons traditional Taiwanese profiles entirely and pushes straight into exotic, heavy spice territory, Mongolian beef. The architecture of this soup relies on a thick, milky white base rendered down from pork and beef bones. That heavy fat suspension is then saturated with cumin. To handle a liquid this dense, TTL engineered a mechanical advantage. They swapped out their standard thin noodle for a wide, Chinese-style flat noodle. The increased surface area is specifically designed to absorb and carry the thick broth up to your palate. But you have to account for the cumin. It is a dominant, aggressive spice. To some, the scent is deeply fragrant and intoxicating. To others, it is entirely off-putting and overwhelms the taste of the beef itself. There is also a structural drawback to consider. When you combine the heavy bone broth with the included chili oil packet, you create a thick layer of surface fat. Halfway through the bowl, that richness can easily cause palate fatigue. Even with that heavy fat layer, the physical feedback of chewing those wide noodles is highly satisfying. If you are a heavy flavor enthusiast looking for an unapologetically aggressive spice profile, this hits the mark. The Mongolian beef is the highest risk option in the lineup. It willingly sacrifices mass appeal to deliver a highly specific, intense sensory overload. So, you are back at the convenience store shelf, staring at the options. Let's eliminate your decision fatigue right now. This radar chart maps out the specific sensory profiles to help you choose. For deep, traditional winter nourishment, grab the herbal pork rib. For intense physical chewing feedback and aggressive spice, you need Mongolian beef. For a mild, sweet recovery meal, beer chicken is your target. Regardless of which flavor you choose, you are looking at over 2,500 milligrams of sodium per package. That breaches the recommended daily limit for an adult, meaning you must manually modulate how much seasoning powder you pour in. Dropping nearly 100 NTD on instant noodles is a steep ask. But it becomes a worthy investment when you stop guessing and start using it as a precise, calculated cure for your specific late-night exhaustion. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.